Uh-oh, what happened? Honestly, I don't know what happened. I see we got a commercial going on. Ah, my goodness gracious. How do I get rid of the Jolly Bee? Ah, there we go. How is everybody? Okay, so apparently StreamYard has changed a few things and I can't run my disclaimer. It is a free site, you know, and so they're clamping down on the freebies. So they're not allowing me to add video media without paying for it. They want, when I try to go into media assets on the free version, they said I have to upgrade. And so my intro and all that, it no longer works. And so I'll have to figure it out. I'm not keen on paying the $45 per month or whatever it is they're wanting. I'm not thinking that it's worth it when you have so many free options of doing live streams. So I welcome everybody in just the same, and I will put the disclaimer in the description once the live stream is over. But we're here to win money. That's the main thing. And the other thing I want to talk about is you may hear fans going in the background. No, not fans that applaud, not those kind of fans. You may in fact hear other kinds of fans like the air conditioning system and things like that. This is where I was able to get the best lighting in the room. I don't know if it's going to last or not. And so you're probably going to hear background noise and you're probably going to hear me coughing and wheezing. I still have not recovered from this cold and cough that I'm suffering from. So we got a StreamYard. And so I guess I do want to talk about the StreamYard thing a little bit, right? Because I did want to integrate Sissy Pink's intro that she did for me that we posted as a video. But I suppose you go back to the video section, you could take a look at her beautiful work she did on the intro. But unfortunately, it doesn't allow me to integrate it. Or if somebody here knows how to integrate that, or even do an intro video without having to pay the monthly subscription fee, that would be great. But truth be told, I'd rather that put the money in your hand, and there are too many people, you know, there are too many people I want to give money to pay the $45 subscription, and also there are too many free sites, you know, like YouTube Stream themselves and a whole bunch of others that you could use for free. And so I think that StreamYard is going the wrong way. You know, I think that, I'm not saying they have to go and provide all these different things for you, you know, the option to have up to 6, you know, subscribers come up on your channel for a panel, that's nice. But the media asset thing, I think, is a little bit stingy. And I don't know if you've had this happen to you already, but I'm thinking of switching over to YouTube and doing all the live streams from there from now on. And I'll figure out how to use the media settings over there. You know, we'll figure it out. Yeah, she calls me. Pinky Gray is in the house. Santa Daniel, I don't know about that. Crystal Adventure is here. Larice is in the chat. Anna Mae, John, YouTube, or is that Jan, YouTube? Wait a minute. Oh my gosh, I got this. So we got John, YouTube channel. Hello, how are you? Malwelma's here. Rodell, John God. Larice, Filipina Mel is here. Mel and Des were over saying hello to, who was it that you were visiting? Was it Curly Senna, or is that where you guys were? Mike, married to a beautiful woman's here. Good evening. The luckiest man married to an amazing, beautiful Minnie. Thanks so much, Mike. I appreciate that. And who else? Claire Castillo's here. Anna May Reyes, of course. Josephine Francisco. God repairs in the house. And God knows I need a bunch of repairing. Don't we all? Yeah. Who else stopped by? Beth Beltran stopped by to say, hey, I appreciate it. 10 million people in the house. Tra Ram here. Nicole Farr tagged me in a post. Anna May sent a couple of links out. Felt John is here. Commercial coming on. Who else is here? Are there commercials on there? Anna May, a member for 16 months. We truly appreciate it. Filipina Mel, a member for 5 months. Thank you so much for your support. Thanks. I really appreciate it. Charmaine is here. Let's see, who else? Who else is in the house? 12 million people. We are going to be giving away some money. Lorraine Pajadas is here. Lorraine. How are you, Lorraine? And the YouTube changed also. YouTube changed something about advertising, right? And so you may start seeing more and more advertising showing up in the middle of the channel. And I hope we can get through the games unscathed, unharmed, where somebody doesn't get, a commercial right in the middle of the game. RD Vlogs is here. Winnie is in the house. Winnie, thanks so much. Wilfredo is here. Wilfredo, let's see. Do you have a jacket? I'm not sure. Let's add you as a moderator and give you a jacket. So, did I say Ariana Manolo and RD Vlog is here? Did I mention them? Okay, 14 million people here. So let's start off. We're going to be drawing pretty fast. But I want to talk about a couple of things, right? Aside from the StreamYard thing. Yeah, when free source programming came out, free source apps and things like that, it took off, it just went zoom, and they started making money by adding advertisers to it. So StreamYard might learn something from that model. I don't know if that's a viable model these days, where you would offer the service as free source, and then you would make your money off advertisers. But it could be that's the way to go. For example, an advertisement shows up in the chat and the comment section automatically. You don't have to do anything. Some such thing like that comes to mind. There are probably a ton of ways to make some additional cash if you're StreamYard without having to raise the price of the monthly subscription for it and then force people to subscribe to it, because really all you're doing is you're chasing people away, and you're leaving a bad taste in their mouth. It's not that you have to offer your service for free, StreamYard, but if you were to offer it at a more reasonable price, I can't help it if the recession, all this stuff is affecting your business. I don't have any control over that. Can't help it if your revenue stream is down by 41%, or something like that. What was the Amazon number for Amazon Prime Day? Sales were off 41%. I'm almost sure that StreamYard is sucking wind, because there's so many options. Now, during the COVID, when everybody was working from home, that's a different story, that's a different story, because you were forced to do business from home. So that means that, woohoo, people were using your service. Now, not so much, because we have so many other options. It's sort of like the way that YouTube became diluted. The more people that join, the more people there are to explore, and therefore you're not going to be spending as much time on my channel or some of the others that were doing 200 and 250,000 views on a video. No, because you now have 250,000 new bloggers that are on there. And that's why a lot of you are making money by diversifying over to Facebook and TikTok and other venues. It's because you know that you have to kind of like piecemeal everything together in order to make a living, if this is your objective, to make a living on YouTube, right? So anyway, I kind of think they're going the wrong direction, but I'm not an expert on such things. I wanted to give, so that shout out to Pinky Gray, I wanted to run that intro video, but unfortunately I can't do it because they want me to pay $44.95 or some such ridiculous thing. And I would rather give the money to you, quite frankly. We're going to give some of that money to you shortly, and we have 18 million people in the house. It would be nice to get 30 or 35 or 40. I'll admit that. I want to talk about CCAT. CCAT is the ferry service that's a fast ferry. They charge a premium price to go to Bye-Bye City Leyte. This is the next thing I want to talk about. And so premium price means they're charging more than everybody else, you know, almost double in some cases, to get you to the secondary city. Instead of going to Ormoc, it goes Cebu to Bye-Bye City. Drops us off practically at our front door. Can't beat the convenience of the service except for this. They have a tendency to cancel the ferry rides. And this is what happened when Faith left here and she was headed for Bye-Bye. That CCAT ferry was supposed to leave at 1:15 p.m. from Cebu, and then it would be a 2.5-hour journey across the water to Bye-Bye City. And unfortunately, 2 hours of waiting, you know, about 2 o'clock or 2:30, they canceled that ferry. And so she sent us a message saying the ferry's been canceled. And then Minnie and I, we had to hot-foot it over to Pier 3, where the CCAT is, and come up with the alternative plan, which was to get her on the Roble for the overnight. It left at 9 p.m. and then arrived at like 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning. It actually arrived a lot earlier than I thought it was going to arrive. Anyway, all's well, because we spent some time hanging around the Galleria Mall, spending some money and having sharing a meal. And then we were able to get Faith back over to Pier 3 or Pier 4, where the Roble boarded up and headed straight to Bye-Bye City Leyte. So now the reason why I'm bringing this up is because Minnie and I were headed out tomorrow. And I said to her, I said, well, they refunded the money right away. The CCAT was nice enough. They handled things very professionally. I don't have any complaint that direction. They're nice enough people, all right. But they're just starting to get a reputation for canceling ferry rides. But if you notice, when you purchase your ticket, it's right on there. It says ferry can be canceled with no notice. And so you're already agreeing to that scenario. You really don't have any recourse except to find another ride. By the way, before we go any further than that, I want to call Minnie over here because I always forget to introduce her. And it is half her channel. So Minnie, if you wouldn't mind coming over here. She found this USA flag shirt at the Ukay Ukay store. I just wanted to.
Hi, everybody.
She wanted you to see it. And so I said, you know, I mean, come on over here. It's original. You're so funny, honey.
Close by the.
Yeah. Okay, there's a lot of Ukay. So there you go.
Only this one.
There you go. It's a beautiful shirt. She got it for 60 pesos. So we're kind of happy about that. Oh, okay. So anyway, I was telling them a story about. Thanks, Minnie, for coming over. I was sharing about the ferry. She's packing right now. We're getting our stuff all squared away. 23 million people in the house. Thanks so much for being here. Oh my goodness gracious. So anyway, yeah, it was inconvenient. But here's the thing, right? I would swear them off, right? But I kind of would like to get home tomorrow by 4:30 or so in the afternoon. So we're going to give it a go. We're going to go down to Pier 3. We're going to purchase CCAT tickets. And they're nice enough to refund if things don't go smoothly, you know, and then we will rebook if they cancel it. We'll rebook on the Roble, the big ferry overnight, and we will get a two-bed cabin or a two-bunk cabin, enjoy our trip back over to Bye-Bye City Leyte. That's the plan. So I hope it all goes smooth. Larry's a member for 13 months. Thanks so much. Anna G is in the house. How are you? Abby G, how you be? I miss Abby. Viana Cañas is here. Rona C's stopping by. Mark is here. Hi, Mark. Did you rebuild anything fancy today, like a tractor trailer rig, a loader, a Komatsu dump truck? That would be sweet. Who's here? Akiro, Chua, Moelma. Thanks so much. All right, so that we're done with the fairy thing, right? I don't want to seem as though I'm complaining about stuff, but I just wish that things would run just a teeny tiny bit, a little bit more smoothly than they have been. And by the way, they're small inconveniences as far as I'm concerned, but I just kind of wish that things would run a little bit, not be so choppy. So talking about things that ran very smooth, right? That's the meeting of the brother Phil. Okay, so I want to talk about this. My brother Phil comes in from Orange County, flies into Cebu, right? He lets me know a couple of weeks ahead of time that he's coming in. But I just want to explain a little bit. We have 2 families going on. I'm one of 10 siblings. If you haven't guessed, I'm like number 3 of 10. And then there was a break in between the first 5 kids and the second 5 kids. And this kind of means that I didn't really know the second half of the family. The second half of the family of 10. And the reason is because I was already out of the house when they were really teeny tiny. And so, yeah, of course I was there when they were growing up and everything, but I didn't really know my brother Phil. And so Phil, when he came here from Los Angeles to Cebu, what a coincidence, right? We're going to be here at the same time. And so I really got to know him, and it was amazing how much stuff that we have in common. But he was the first of my brothers and sisters, first one to come over here. And, it was really, we had a bonding moment, I guess, is what, we had something in common. So that commonality bonded us together. We became a little bit closer. We shared a lot of stories. And some of them brought tears to my eyes because I remember I have fleeting memories. Let me tell you what the age difference between baby brother Phil is and myself. So I'm 68 years old. I know I don't look a day over 40. 68 is a new 40, but my brother Phil is 52 years. So there you go. That tells the whole story, right? So I'm 68, and I call him baby brother Philip, is 52 years old. That shows you the age gap. And so, by the way, I'm very proud of him. The reason why I'm so proud of him for a lot of different reasons, not only for venturing out over here and taking advantage of seeing the rest of the world and not being encapsulated, not getting stuck there in Southern California. There's nothing wrong with Southern California, but it's nice to see the rest of the world. And actually, he is a pretty worldly guy because he has traveled a lot. And so it was exciting for him to be here because he turns out to be an extremely, he's an adventurer. He's a very open-minded individual. And like I said, we ended up having tons and tons of stuff in common. And so it was a pretty wonderful adventure the last few weeks, the last week of him being here. Who's here? Teresa Laren. Teresa. Yeah, and I don't know, once people find out that he's here, I was telling him, I wonder what it's going to be like when he returns home. I wonder if he's going to have to put up with all the crap that I did when people found out, what, you're moving to the Philippines? You can't make it in America? It never rains in Southern California, but it pours. Yeah, it does. Net Ban is here. Net Pick and Ban is here. Net Ban, it's good to see you. Thanks for coming. Charmaine is here. 26 million people here. We're about ready to draw for 333. But I'm not through with my stories, okay? You gotta let me. So we had a beautiful time. We just had dinner with him, and it was wonderful. And he was meeting people for a karaoke session. I don't know where they were going. They invited us over, but I said I got an obligation. I got to do my weekly giveaway. The folks are counting on me. So the next thing I want to talk about is shout out also to our friends Ryan and Juliet. We also shared a meal with them. Ryan and Juliet, we've known from Sacramento at least 10 years. It could be a little bit longer. And that's David's older brother from Bangkok. And so these guys, they're seasoned world travelers. And so these guys really were the people that indoctrinated myself into traveling all around different places. And so I would say that they were responsible for the whole thing. I had traveled a little bit before meeting them. Then when they started talking Southeast Asia, Thailand and Cambodia and Philippines and China and Russia and all these different places, I had to go. Ryan has hella stories. I'm not going to share many of them with you, but I mean, he traveled across Russia. He traveled through Siberia on that Siberian Express. And so listening to him tell that story is it is earth-shattering, scary. That is not, they call it what? The Trans-Siberian Railway, something like that. So he is like a movie. He's like a walking movie, right? He's like a walking novel, he should do an autobiography for sure. Folks, I want to talk about a person that I think that you're going to be missing out if you don't go over there and subscribe to his channel. This is one of the most earthy dudes that I've ever had the pleasure of not yet meeting, but watching his YouTube channel. And he's an up and comer, and he's big time. He's going to be big time. And that is Ben in Cebu. So do me a solid and go over to Ben in Cebu, sign up, and watch a few of his videos, and then you'll understand what I'm talking about on the way that he presents his viewpoint on living life. We agree about a whole bunch of stuff. We're just on the same wavelength. Not exactly 100%, but I mean, I would say that the philosophies are very, very close. The reasons why he's here and those types of things. And his goal or in life, you know what I mean? The willingness to and the desire to give back and impact someone else's life that in a positive way. Those are the things that are impressive about Ben in Cebu. So go to the Ben in Cebu channel. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about, and the final thing I think I want to talk about, so this whole 1% thing, I was making, if you watch that video that I did on the 1%, and a lot of you did, as a matter of fact, a lot of people who never chimed in did also, so just want to, I made fun of it at the end, right? I made fun of it. I made fun of the 1% tax at the end. So what it seems that this is really most about, in my humble opinion, and it's only my idea, no one else's. I haven't heard anybody talk about it quite this way. Is to capture the cash remitters that are doing stuff that they should not ought to be doing, and that is what I think the primary reason for the 1% tax. The government simply wants to get paid for ill-gotten gains. They want their share. It's not always a guarantee that they'll see their share of that tax money. So people that are using traditional ways of transferring money, either using their bank account or using a credit card or debit card, have nothing to worry about. But about 6 months ago, I have to share this story about how intuitive I am about stuff like this. So I want to share this story about what happened. So about 6 months ago, and Nitban probably knows because he's gotten a little hint of it. About 6 months ago, I had a problem with the bank. The bank froze the account, but they froze it for a legitimate reason. I cannot be mad at the bank for the reason why they froze the account up, but when I try to explain to the bank that I don't need protection from fraud, in fact, I'll sign off any contractual document that you want. I'll come straight to your home offices in North Carolina or South Carolina in the United States, wherever you are, and you put a contract in front of me that says I absolutely will hold you harmless for any fraud that may occur to my account. And they refused, and you know why they refused, right? Because it's not my account that they're trying to protect. It isn't. It's their money they're trying to protect. So a lot of you, if you don't know banking law in the United States, once you put the money in the bank, it's technically theirs, it's not yours. So I'm not gonna go as far as saying they don't care a rat's ass about you, but they probably don't care as much about you as they do about protecting their own assets. Did you get it? They're protecting their own assets. And so I guess, we buy into the whole diatribe that, this is about you, Mr. Dan. We want to protect you. And then when I tell them Dan doesn't need protecting, if the criminals end up getting all my cash that's in the bank, c'est la vie, they probably need it more than I do. See how I am? I won't be sad, I won't be mad. I'll just say that's just the way it goes. And so that's why I'm willing to sign off, and say that no, I will hold you harmless now and forever for any of my money that you may lose. But it's not about, folks, it isn't about that. See, it's about them protecting their assets, not about protecting yours necessarily. So I hope I said that correctly. So in line with that thinking, what I did was I said, well, I can't have one bank, hold all the money. That's just plain stupid because of my exposure is in that one bank, right? So they're the ones that opened my eyes, my bank. They're the ones that opened my eyes that this isn't such a good idea. So you see, it has a backlash effect. It has a impact that they weren't expecting, right? That I ended up. So what I ended up doing is I ended up putting half the money in the account now that I received, and half the money goes here. So I want to show you this. I thought at the time that this was a stroke of genius, but it may not be. But I make mistakes, but I'm not saying I've made one here. Not yet anyway. But if I do, I'll let you know. But basically what I'm doing here is I'm explaining what happened. So half is my government pension and the other half comes from Social Security retirement benefits, right? I don't want to, I'm not going to get into specific numbers, but it's just it's more like a 60-40 split. Anyway, 40% Social Security, 60% local government pension. And so I call the Social Security office up, and I'm going to do a video about this, and so I'm going to be brief in explaining it to you. And that is that, I say, well, I need some kind of protection from this happening again. I mean, they're not legally really supposed to hang up a person's retirement money. That was another thing I pointed out. But what can you do? They're the ones that are holding the purse strings once the money hits the bank. So they said, Social Security's answer was, go with the Direct Express MasterCard. Direct Express, don't leave home without it. Ah, the Mexican Express card. They said, yeah, go with this one. And I go, how does that thing work? It works beautifully. We put the money on this prepaid debit card. You go and use it at ATM or the market of your choice, right? And all is right in the world, except for this, It's an expensive way to go. It costs money in fees. But when I started thinking about it, oh, we got ads coming in. Yeah, I saw that. The more I started thinking about it, right, I pay fees all over the place. When I use the SWIFT system, and Minnie and I do bank-to-bank transfers from an American bank over to the bank account here in the Philippines, they help themselves for the Forex rate exchange. They help themselves there. No, they don't charge us a fee, not a transfer fee per se, but they pick up their profit in that transfer. And this really is what the 1%, if you ask me, the 1% tax, it has a lot to do with the banks wanting to make the money. Remitly and Weiss are going to be okay so long as you use a bank card to fund them, right? But you'll have to check with Remitly and Weiss to see how they're going to be handling the situation. But it turns out that the fees aren't as terrible as I thought initially. Setting up the card was a pain in the ass, setting it up for international use. Because in this card, they have to double and triple check your identity before they activate it for international travel. But once I got through that, which took about 3 hours being on the phone using my Google phone, once it was set up, right, I haven't had any problem getting money out of the ATM machine here at banks like China Bank or Metro or BPI. So all is right in the world that way. And the other thing that caught my attention is they gave me a little bit higher rate on the withdrawing of money, which kind of made me feel a little bit more comfortable about the fees that they were charging internationally in order to withdraw your money. So this is an avenue where you won't pay the 1% fee. Oh, and by the way, Social Security said we personally are never going to be the ones to shut down the card, but Direct Express, if you go on many expat forums, there are all kinds of people cursing them for shutting down the card, for fraud alerts, for this and that. And then what ends up happening is you're spending hours on the phone trying to straighten the whole thing out. So it might work a little bit better for me because and Dan and Minnie and the reason is because we're not solely dependent on this money. And so which means that if bills come due, we just pull from the other account. This one we have time to play with. And so what we're going to do is we're going to try it out for 6 months and see how it goes. And then hopefully that'll work out okay and we won't have any problems. All right, so let's look for a winner for 333 pesos. Let's do that now. Oh, and by the way, if you have any questions about anything that I've talked about or you have comments, please make sure you put them in the comment section below, but also subscribe to the channel. We really would appreciate that. All right, so it turns out that this thing with the 1% isn't such a big thing, It ain't really. IRS is not happy at Dan giving the real solution. Well, there was so much stuff going around on YouTube, and it was really alarming stuff. I mean, did you guys notice that? See all this stuff? Dun, dun, dun. It's the end of expats as we know it. And really, it's not. It's not. There's going to be workarounds for everything, including when push comes to shove. Why don't you get your buddy to transfer for you? What? I have to be a rocket scientist in order to figure this stuff out? Remember, they wanted punitive action in the very beginning, they wanted everybody to be caught up in the dragnet. Not only U.S. citizens, everybody was going to have to pay the tax, you know, and that, you know, the Senate was kind of like, let's straighten these House Republicans out a little bit, you know, and the House Democrats, you know, these punitive dudes, right? I mean, really, poor people remit. I mean, honestly, really. The majority of us, we're just working folks. We're just working folks and we need to get money to our families. You know, I'm almost sure the majority of people aren't criminals. You know, and so I think that the 1% revenue that they will be collecting, you know, into the Treasury is probably, you know, minuscule. You know what I mean? It's just teeny tiny. 32 million people in the House. Let's play the game. Let me get my other phone. So you guys now know how this works, right? We're going to be picking a number between 1 and 32. And what I'll do is in the comment section next to our name, I will put start. And that is the signal for you to start guessing. You will be guessing a number between 1 and 32 for all 3 games today. And then if you win by being the first one to guess the number after I go into the Google random number generator, because you guess first, and I set up the Google random number generator, we generate the winning number. That's how we're going to do it. Well, Democrats and Republicans alike that voted for this. Actually, it was Republicans, wasn't it? I'm a Democrat. I shouldn't have brought parties into this, Nidban. I do apologize. I misspoke. It probably was more of a bipartisan tax, you know. They just wanted to get money. They wanted to punish somebody. Somebody wanted to punish somebody, and I'm not sure how the whole thing played out. I'm not sure who wanted to punish who. I mean, because they did start out with a 5%, right? Menge is here, and how are you, Menge? Yenarine in the house. Anime hanging in there with us. Thanks so much for sharing out those links. Filipina Mel, how are you? All right, so thanks for your membership. So now, all right, so when I put start, then you'll start guessing a number between 1 and 32. When I put stop in there, that means stop guessing. Something you should know that Beth already knows too about this, and that is that you only can guess one time. That means if there are 32 people in the house, I should only have 32 guesses. That means no Ninja Channels, no guessing twice. It's one guess, period, for the folks that are already here. You got it? Abby knows the rules. Abby, you won a couple times, right? Yenarine knows the rules. And then the other thing that drives me absolutely batty, but you're getting better at it. If you win, then you have to find me and send me your Gmail, your GCASH account number, where to send it. And I will keep it confidential because that's the rules. Them are the new rules of the Philippine bloggers, especially where you're doing giveaways. You have to protect the privacy of your subscribers with your life. And so that's what I will do. And that means I can't go and I ask somebody, see this Carol Burnett here, I cannot go and ask anybody, do you have Abby G's GCash? Because Abby G didn't provide it for me. No, you go and find me. Call your friends and say, how do I get a hold of Dan? Or somebody here will post a link to my chat, Facebook. Oh my gosh, thanks so much. Wait a minute. Anime is saying, Dan, you forgot to stuff the pig. That, Anime, I appreciate very, very much because, yeah, Piggy is here waiting. All right, we're going to get back to the drawing in a second. 34 million people here. Piggy is waiting to be stuffed, and how this works is every live stream we're doing a GCash giveaway, we also stuff the pig. A couple of weeks before Christmas, I'll be giving you instructions on how you can potentially win the money that's in this piggy. not a piece of this pork, all of the pork, so that you will have a wonderful Christmas for you and your family. And so I was ready to go, I just forgot. Anime's right, I forgot to stuff the pig, right? And the piggy, look it, is green in the gills. All right. So anyway, let's do that. I got money here. I got cash. So I'm putting it inside the piggy, but I'm not going to show you how much it is. You have to guess. I'm putting bills in right now. All right, okay, oh. They're not fitting, they're inside there. Thank you, piggy, thank you. All right, and I got some change. Wait. See, I almost forgot to do it. Thanks so much, Anime. Oh, how embarrassing. I'm terribly embarrassed. All right, I got coin here, but you can't see it. The whole thing is guessing, right? How much is going in there, right? You probably can get a general idea, but nobody's going to be 100% correct. All right, the piggy has been stuffed. I did my piggy thing. Oh, piggy almost fell off the table. Folks, there's a lot going on here. This may be one reason why I forgot to stuff the pig. I'm actually doing this live stream from the bathroom. So you probably can hear the echo, right? It's because the lighting in here is terrible. It is terrible. All right, so let's go. We got that part. So now people are laughing at me. Larice, oh my gosh. Spank. Mike. Mike, don't get me started. All right, so you're gonna pick a number. I hope we don't get a commercial. Wouldn't that be terrible if we ended up getting an ad right now? Larice is here. Myra Garcia is here, and Joho Baylor is here. Yeah. All right, everybody. I'm getting ready to put start in here. Now you know the rules. And then also if you win, the final thought to share with you is that if you win, then you're a winner and you stand down for the other two games. There's going to be 3 chances to win 333 pesos. And I'm getting ready to hit that start button right now. Please choose a number between 1 and 32 when you see start appear in the comment section next to our channel name. Oh, we're off to a good start. Start. Phoebe is here. Thelms. Girly Sen is here. Teresa, Laren, Menge. Marianne is here. Rosie in the house. 42 million people. Nicole is here. Maris is here. Okay, get all your guesses in. Rosie, did you guess? Because we're putting stop command in now in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Eee! All right, it was a number between 1 and 32. Now I'm going to the Google random number generator. I am so poorly, as usual, ready to go. Let me see, I got to go to Google. Found it. Google random number generator. All right. Number between 1 and what did I say, 32. Okay, see how, I don't know if you can see it or not, right? But there it is, it's set up. You'll have to take my word for it. I'm gonna generate the number right now. And the winning number is, dang, number 13 likes to come up a lot. Number 13, I think I see it in the camera view. The first game, the winning number is 13. I know we have one person in here that always chooses number 13. Right, so let me go see. You guys had to tell me if somebody won. What, Nicole? Nicole, is that your number? Nicole, congratulations. Okay, Nicole, you're the winner of pesos 333. Coming to you, your GCASH account as soon as this live stream is over. You're the first winner. We got 2 more to go. Make sure, even though you think I may have it, trust me, I'm so disorganized, can't you tell? Send me your GCASH number all by itself in the chat, in chat messenger. And then I will promptly send that 333 winnings out to you, Nicole, right after the live stream is over, which is going to be soon because we're doing this fast, right? It's like a heat-seeking missile. All right. Let's see, who's retracting something? What did you retract, God Repairs? Remel Guapo says void. I don't know what that means, void. Same number, accidentally click co. Okay, what happened? Something happened. Oh, by the way, any complaints or, abnormal things that might happen, listen, keep them to yourself. Let's see, what did Anime say? What do you say? Now it's going to start, retract. All right, what happened, you guys? Did something go haywire? Someone say it to me in English. My sign isn't very good. Oh, one answer only. Yeah, but, here's the thing, Ramel Guapo. If she put the number in and was, if she put the number in and she didn't change it, right, then it's okay. In other words, if it's the same number and she was the first one to put 13 in there, and then she put a subsequent number in there that was the same, that's okay. I'm kind of like not too strict about that sort of thing. And you're welcome to do the same thing if you want to, if you think that people are going to miss your number. But if she was the first one to put that number up there in the chat, then we're good to go. So, but any complaints that you might have, put them in writing and send them to me in my chat messenger, and then I will explore this. So you're saying that she guessed 13 multiple times. Let me go back and review this real quick. Yeah, because I would be okay with Nicole she was first to put the number in there. And so as long as she didn't change to a different number, let me review this whole thing here real quick. There's Nicole, number 13, following Mawelma. Abby G came in with number 13, a little bit further below. And then Nicole retracted a message, which probably was her number 13. Which is way down below. So yeah, I would say we're okay on this one, but avoid doing that in the future. Actually, if it were to happen another time exactly the same way, I probably would let it go. But let's avoid doing that. So let's not put the same number in the comment section multiple times. Right. The most important thing is, were you the first one to guess the number? Were you the first one to enter in the winning number? And as long as you didn't change to another number further down, right? You want to take another guess. That's what would have caught my attention for sure. So if that happened, and you're telling me that Nicole guessed a different number further down, then I'm going to have to take a look at that. Same number pose, what Nicole said. Okay. Double entry. Okay, so watch doing that. I mean, be careful, but if it happened again, I probably would be, I probably wouldn't get too excited about it, but I just want to caution you not to do that in the future. All right. Are you ready to go for the second run here, the second 333 pesos, a number from 1 to 32. We're not changing that. We're still going number to 32. Nicole's the winner, so Nicole stands down. In theory, that might increase your chances of winning. And so when I put start into the comment section, please feel free to start guessing. For game number 2, a number between 1 and 32. Good luck, everybody. Okay, I'm going to enter the stop command in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. I hope all the guesses were in. And now I'm going back to the random number generator. Let's see, random number generator. All right. So we're getting ready to go again. The reflection of light from the cell phone makes it difficult to see that I've set up the parameters for between 1 and 32, but there they are. We're generating the number right now. Push. And guess what? The winning number is 32. That is 32 is the winning number for round number 2. Excuse me. All right. Let's see if we have a winner. No winner, no winner, no winner on number 32. No winner. Okay, we're going to go again. Guys ready to go again? 40 million people in the house. Griselda's here. When you see start appear in the comment section, please guess a number between 1 and 32. It'll appear any second now. And so, that sucks. That sucks. I'm going to give this more time if there's an ad running. Griselda guessed. Yeah, I don't blame you if you blow by the ads if we're playing the game. What are you going to do? I'm entering stop command in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So remember, it's one person, one guess, and all the guesses are in. So let me go and Aileen Cruz is here. Hey, Aileen Cruz. So let me go ahead and go to the random number generator. And here it is. We're getting ready to generate the number again to see if we get a second winner of the night. And boom. Well, we did get a number, but it was number 30. I don't know how much luck we're going to have with a winner with number 30. But if one of you selected 30 and you were the first one to pick it, that's pretty good. Let's see what we got. Hello, everyone. Tox is here. Beautiful goddaughter in the house. Lorraine who? Lorraine Pajadas is here. Who won? Lorraine is the winner? What the heck? Lorraine Pajadas is the winner of round 2 with number 30. Congratulations. To Lorraine Pajadas, a winner with number 30. All right. It's time to do the last run. And again, if you have any observations you want to share about the game and any suggestions, then please feel free to send them to me in the chat messenger. Then I'm going to consider whatever it is that you have to say. Dean Matthias is here. Dean Letty Me is here. Hello, Tox. Beautiful Tox. All right. When I put start in the chat for the final 333 pesos. Please guess a number between 1 and 32. And again, I will put the stop command in, but I'll warn you that it's coming. So when you see start appear in the comments, you may start guessing a number between 1 and 32, and I hope that you end up winning the money. That's what we're here for, help out a little bit. Okay, Dean, you guessed twice, 2 separate numbers, so that actually, see, you must be a newbie, so that, in this particular case, that would disqualify you. So yeah, you can guess as many times as you want, but you're out of play there. All right, so now I will put stop guessing. Stop. Yeah, it helps to know the rules, doesn't it? Guess one time only, yeah. So Dean, you're out of play no matter what the number is. That's kind of like what we were talking about. You must have come in at the tail end of this thing. All right, let me find out. Let me go to the random number generator. And we will pull that number. All right, so a number between 1 and 32. Are we ready? Number between 1 and 32. You can see it right there. Here we go. I'm generating the number. Boom. And the winning number is lucky number 7. So it's 7. And let's see if we have, for the final win of the night, let's see if we have a winner of number 7. Let's see. I lost my place. Minnie Snow. What? I didn't even know Minnie Snow was here. That's Minnie Snow's number. Minnie Snow. What do you know? You're the winner of pesos 333 with the luckiest number of all. It's so divine. That is number 7. All right. We got 3 winners of pesos 333. Again, if there are any disputes whatsoever, please send them to me in the chat, messenger, and we will work it out. Let me see if I can get Minnie's attention to come on over here to say goodbye.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks everybody for joining us. That's for sure. We really appreciate the support.
Hi.
Yeah, we made it through 1 hour. Thanks everybody. We'll see you out there in Cebu. Take care. See you on the next one.
Bye. Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.